Winston, how did you celebrate on the field on Saturday?
Well, I got a little teary-eyed. It's been a long road. Me and my brothers have fought hard, to get to this point. So it was a beautiful thing. Coach Panagos came and grabbed me, and he was like, "We did it, we did it." So it was just kind of like a moment of euphoria, I would say. And then all the fans running onto the field. We were talking to Rodney about it because we've never seen anything like that before. So we were like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? He was just like, find your teammates and get to the locker room after it's all said and done. So we were like shuffling on to the locker room. So it was really cool.
On the broadcast, I think they said that you might be the soul of the defense. What kind of things do you try to bring for that?
Basically, just push what I get from other guys. Like, I go out there every day at practice, and Carter will look at me, we'll be in stretch lines, and he'll be like, let's go, let's go. And I got so much respect for that guy because of the fierce passion that he brings towards the defense and things like that. Thomas Barber with his control, Antoine Winfield with his control, Kamal, all those guys. I feel like kind of the entity that we make together is just like a beautiful entity in the teamwork and success of the defense. So I might be a little louder than everybody else, so that might be why they said that. But by any means, it's not just me at all.
People are finally picking you guys to do things like reach the Big Ten title game, things like that. I know you guys have your own internal expectations, but does anything go into handling, I guess, maybe finally having some external expectations for this team?
Not really at all, only because we put more pressure on ourselves than I feel like everybody else puts on us. So all offseason, we've just been examining pressure and expectation, pressure and expectation. So it would go all the way back to January when we would go in the weight room and Coach Nickel would have this pad. He'd have a notepad, and we'd be lifting weights, and everybody would be like, okay, who's he going to call out? We'd have like a push-up competition, pull-up competition, maybe sprints, but you never knew who you were going against. Maybe you thought that guy was stronger than you or thought they were faster than you, but then the team would divide and pick who they thought would win. So you had pressure. You had to not only fulfill your own pressure and expectations, but you didn't want to let your teammates down as well. So we've kind of built this whole thing around pressure and examined it. So inside our four walls, we put more pressure on ourselves than I feel like anybody else could put on us externally.
Winston, what do you remember, kind of what PJ was talking about with the senior class and what you guys have been through? Like, do you remember talking to Antoine or any of the other guys and kind of being like, what do we do about this? Should we stay? That kind of stuff.
Everything was changing, and we had constant conversations surrounding it. And you'd walk in the locker room, and guys would just leave notes on the locker and be like, I love you guys, but I want to do this. I love you guys, but I want to do that. So we made a decision to all stay together because we saw a vision and we saw something greater coming down the pipe. We knew it wasn't going to be easy, and by all means, it wasn't easy at all. But I couldn't be more blessed to be in the position that I'm in right now with these guys that I'm in it with. So.
Did that come from like PJ when you said you guys saw the vision, or was that something just internally with you guys as well?
I think it was both. I think it was a combination of both. Coach Fleck talked to us all individually, and he was like, you guys are going to be the guys that are going to have to pull this thing through. He said he saw different leadership qualities in us that we didn't even see in ourselves at the time. So being able to have somebody who believed in us that much, I feel like it was elite. It was awesome.
So was it especially gratifying then, like after a big win like you guys had against Saturday, to kind of see those guys again and maybe gather them around?
Yeah, it definitely was. It was cool to kind of see a lot of the older guys as well, kind of see the guys that, we went through all the mud with and things like that. And I was hugging guys like Andrew Stelter, and he was like, you guys did it. I'm so proud of you guys, Jared Weiler. And I was like, it's all because of you guys. Like, you guys helped set this thing and pave the way just as much as we did. So I was so thankful.
How difficult is that to reset and go 0-0 on Sunday after such an emotional high and make sure that, now Penn State doesn't matter because now you're focused on Iowa? How difficult is it to reset?
In the beginning of the season, it was slightly difficult. It was slightly difficult, but now it's kind of like an automatic switch. It's scary to think about it because on Saturday night, guys were already ready to watch film against Iowa. Already ready. And we're in the midst of one of the greatest victories in Gopher history, but we were ready to go and watch film against Iowa, like gnawing at the bit to watch film against them. So we came in on Sunday, and when we came in, we were ready to work.
You talk about seeing that vision, guys who chose to stay. How long do you think it took for everyone to be sort of all in on the new style and new culture? Did it take half a season, full season?
I can't really put a time on it, but I can just remember the click. Like one day you wake up and you go into winter workouts and you just see everybody wants to be there. Okay, nobody's begging anybody to +3 anymore. Nobody's begging anybody to compete. It's just like everybody was ready to roll. And when you see it and when you feel it, you get this feeling and you're taken aback like, okay, now what's next? Like, we got what we've been looking for, now what's gonna happen? So that's kind of cool.
What would it mean to the senior class to get a win in Iowa City and bring the Floyd Rosedale Trophy back to Minnesota?
I feel like it wouldn't just be a senior class thing, but it will be a whole team thing only because we have another opportunity to go out there and play together. We look at, the different rivalries and stuff like that. Of course, the history. Coach Fleck does a really, really good job of teaching us the history and the significance of the rivalries, but we're just excited to go out there and play together as a team, as a family. I know speaking for the D-line as well, we just loving up on each other so much this year. Every opportunity we get to go play again is another opportunity that we love to have.
Winston, from your perspective, I'm just curious, the Gophers' offensive line has gotten a lot better, and they've been doing some cool packages, and like even Sam Schluter's been doing great too. I'm just curious from your perspective, like how you've seen them and what you think makes them kind of difficult to play against right now.
It's cool watching guys come from camp and you watch them change their best every day and grow and grow and grow and grow, and to also go against them, but then watch them play against other defensive lines. We'll sit in the locker room, and I'll talk to Curtis Dunlap and Daniel Falele about how I should attack an offensive tackle this week or an offensive guard. And we haven't really had that in the past few years. It's like a camaraderie between the offense and defensive line because in camp we were going at each other. We were at each other's throats, and we were making each other better. So being able to kind of, break through the other side of that tunnel and now be able to help each other with scheme and different things like that, it's a really cool thing to see.
One or two more for Winston.
When you have these rivalry games that come with like the Floyd of Rosedale, the victory bells, like you used to talk about the one game championship season. Is it fun to have something where like at the end of the championship season there is a trophy handed out to one side or the other?
Yeah, it's definitely very interesting to have that. Like when we got to run to the victory bell, that was cool. A lot of the freshmen didn't even know what to do. I was like, we got to run over. So that's going to be another thing that we're going to be able to have this week. So it's definitely very interesting.
Winston, as the leader of the defensive line, how much have you seen like guys like Boye and Assezi grow in the system?
I've seen them grow to, I feel like, lengths that they haven't even thought they've been able to grow in themselves. Like when Big O first got here, every day I'm yelling at him like, stay low. You're 6'6", you're this much, stay low, because you're going to weigh heavier if you stay low versus if you play up high. So watching him be able to transition and then go out there and get that sack last week, that was beautiful, as well as Boye just working his moves and becoming more violent. It's also cool to see. Those guys are going to be so great, and I tell them all the time, I'm like, I wish I was as big and as strong as you guys, because you guys are going to be astronomical by the time this thing is said and done.
Take one more if there's. Thank you, Winston.